Okay, students, I made the combining like terms video, and there was a lot of language in there. So I thought I'd make another video where I just talked about language. We're going to talk about polynomials and degree, terms, coefficient, variable, and constants. So the first thing I have is this example. And this example I want to start and say has 6 terms. This is a term, 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 and this is a term. That's 6 terms. The other thing I want to talk about is degree. Degree in math is talking about the exponents. Because remember, these are called exponents. They're also called powers. And then the other thing you need to know is they're called degrees. These are polynomials, meaning that it's an expression with multiple terms. And let me write that down. Polynomial. And you're going to hear that in math. I know that seems like a weird word. We could skip it, but you will hear this term in math, and so I want you to be familiar with it. Poly means multiple, and nomial is like multiple numbers, multiple terms. And so when we have expressions like this, we order them by their degree. So let me give, for example, this term has a degree of 3. This term has a degree of 3 because the exponent, it's to the 3rd power. Now this term is just x, or negative x. This is to the 1st degree. This is x to the 1st. Okay, x to the 1st equals just x. Okay, so we don't ever write x to the 1st, but we do understand, when you understand math real clearly, really closely, you do understand that x by itself does have a degree. It's to the 1st degree. Okay, so this is a 1st degree. Then we have this term here. The exponent is 4, so it's to the 4th degree. This term here has an exponent. The x is raised to the 8th power, so it's to the 8th degree. Now this term is called a constant. It's just a number with no variable, so it's called a constant. And this is to the 0 degree, okay? And then this last term is raised, the x is raised to the 5th power. The exponent is 5, so it's to the 5th degree. Okay, so here we have the degree is 3, 1, 4, 8, 0, and 5. Okay? Okay, so let me go back here, and I added this video. Or this picture, excuse me. So I want to point out that in this picture, we have this is a term, and this is a term, and this is a term because they're separated by operations. I want to point out this word constant. Okay, constants are numbers in a polynomial or in an expression or equation with no variable. So this is our constant in this expression. And then I want to point, oops, and let me add that definition. Terms in an equation or expression with no variable. And then let's talk about the variable. This problem has an x here and here, and it has a y here. Okay? Variables are unknown numbers in an equation or expression. And then let's talk about coefficients. So 4 is a coefficient here. 3 is a coefficient here. 5 is not a coefficient. A coefficient is a multiplier of a variable. Okay? So it's in front of a variable. So right here, it means I have this unknown value multiplied by 3, or I have that unknown value 3 times. And so let's go back to this example. In this example, -3 is a coefficient. Here we have a coefficient of -1, but we don't write the -1. We have -x or -1x. Here we have a coefficient of 5, coefficient of -2. This is not a coefficient. And then we have a coefficient of -7. Okay, so this is a 6-term polynomial. And let's put this in order. So I'm going to erase this. And so we order polynomials in descending order. Descending order. So I start with the highest degree, which is here. So I'm going to write -2x to the 8th power. The next highest degree is -7x to the 5th power. So I'm going to write -7x to the 5th power. And then here I have to the 4th, and it's plus 5x to the 4th. So I'm going to write plus 5x to the 4th. And then I have to the 3rd, so minus 3x to the 3rd, minus 3x to the 3rd. And then let's see, let me do some stuff. So I've used this one, I've used this one, I've used this one, I've used this one. I'm down to minus x and plus 1. So the minus x is going to come next because remember it has a power of 1. We just don't write it. And then I'm going to write plus 1 last. Our constants always come last. Okay. Now I can't combine any terms here because these are all, when a term has a different power, they're not like terms. None of these can be combined. None of these are like terms. And we'll talk about that more in the next video. I don't know if I want to put this video next or first. I think first. So the next video we'll talk about combining. Okay, so again, let's keep this one. This is a coefficient, 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 coefficient. Here there's a coefficient of 1, -1. This is a constant. There's only one variable in this expression, x. And these are the degrees of the polynomial. So this is a polynomial in the 8th degree. Okay. This is what's called the leading term. This is the leading coefficient. And you name a polynomial by its leading term. So it's to the a polynomial in the 8th degree. Okay, guys, we'll keep working on these words. I'll do some whole class instruction too. Good job. Thank you.